Welcome back, everyone. Today, I'm going to be covering air roll left, turn left. So if you're watching this and you're an air roll rider, go check out the air roll right demos from Torment and Freaky. They're going to help you to start. Let's get into it. If you're new here, my name's Luke. I'm a peak Grand Champ 3 player. Been coaching for the last 5 years, have coached hundreds of players to Grand Champ personally, and I'll be breaking down air roll left because I've spent over 1,000 hours in rings and training packs learning this stuff. This is air roll left. Air roll left, how to turn left. A little bit more complicated than our air roll right adjustment, only because it takes longer and it's a little bit slower. I'll show you what I mean. With the turn right adjustment that we just outlined, you have your sort of upright as your base, and then you're building on up and up left as you get better and want to go crazy. For turn left, it's very similar. The sort of standard turn left adjustment that you'll use most often on air dribbles and when you're starting out as a beginner is going to be hold arrow left and push down into the right on your joystick. Push down into the right. The reason we push down into the right is because of that 90 degrees clockwise rotation we outlined in the video in the 8 corners method segment. But to catch you up to speed, let's go slow-mo and free play and break down how this works. So if we turn down the game speed to 50%, you'll see that, reminder, your car doesn't go where your nose is facing. Your car goes where your nose is facing when you boost. So remember, boost controls speed, not just where your car is facing. This is why it can be so confusing to learn to fly. Now, when we start with this slightly tilted forward car position, what we outlined as the neutral position in the demo, you'll notice when I push down into the right and hold arrow left on my joystick, I get a little bit of left turn as well as a slowdown. I'll do that one more time. Down into the right. I get a little bit of left turn as well as a slowdown before my car comes back around to forward facing. So this will be our sort of core or central turn left adjustment because it's closest to the tornado spin. The tornado spin, holding arrow left and pushing to the right, gives us that speed control, which is why we favor down into the right as our first sort of turn left adjustment, because it gives our car a nice spin back when we start from the neutral position. Very useful for controlling our speed in rings and on things like air dribbles. If I had the ball on my car here, it's very useful to use a down right adjustment to keep it up. That's the concept. Now, let's go back to slow-mo. You'll notice I can also turn left using arrow left and holding down. This also turns me left. But the key difference between pulling down and down right is that our car doesn't spin back first. And so down right gives us more speed control, whereas pushing straight down and holding arrow left gives us a sharper turn to the left. It gives us a sharper turn to the left, perhaps faster midair. You'll preserve more of your speed, your momentum in flight. But for all the reasons we outlined, down right is sort of the favored turn left adjustment because it's only a slight turn left and you get a little bit of speed control. Now, by the same token, there's one more adjustment that will turn you left, and that's down left on the joystick. If you start from this neutral position and you press down left, you'll see we're also turning left midair. The issue with this adjustment is even more so than pulling straight down, you get a super sharp turn. You get a sharp torque forward. And the reason for that is because down into the left is closer to a reverse tornado spin than it is to a tornado spin. And so we get more speed buildup from neutral. But we're going to start with down right as the sort of foundation in our rings demos in a second. We're going to move into rings. And if you're on console, reminder at this point in the video, welcome to go to Pillars, very useful map. Let's go to Lethamir's Ice Rings. Same texture as lava rings, but I used lava rings in the last demo. So this should help for explaining giant rings. Here we go. Here's the sort of default texture. Now, the difference about turning left and turning right with arrow right is when we turn, or with arrow left, excuse me, very confusing. The difference between turning left and turning right with arrow left is the speed at which your car will reach the turn position. Let me put those words to visuals. When we turn right with arrow left, our car is in the turn right position immediately. And this is because the first half of the spin already turns our car to the right. with air roll left and turning left, pressing down and to the right, it takes just a little bit longer to get to that turning position. Let me show you what I mean on slow-mo. When we start from the neutral position and we hold air roll left and push down right, we have to wait until our car hits this point to really get the turning aspect of the adjustment. So let's get over to the right side of a ring here. We really have to wait till our car gets here, and now we're turning left. We're pressing air roll left and pushing down and to the right. We're waiting until our car reaches here. We're now turning left, and when we feel good about it, we can pull down and to the right again and recenter ourselves. Let's do that right here. We're flying through the rings. Notice we get a little bit of slowdown from the adjustment. That's because we're getting that tornado aspect from pushing down and to the right. But that's why it's good for rings to start out, because you can get good speed control. Whereas if I teach you down left initially, I mean, you can still do it. You can still do it, certainly. But it's going to be more confusing because you're going to get a speed up effect when we go down left. You're going to get like a speed up effect, and that's confusing. It's easier to get a slow down effect, especially for building height like in rings. So that's why I kind of start with down right. Anyways, the first drill is you're going to put yourself on slow-mo. You're going to go to settings. You're going to drag this down. You're going to start by flying to the right of the rings with a slight forward tilt. You're going to press down and to the right until your car rolls over, down and to the right again to get back to the sort of neutral flying position or normal position. And here we have to gain quite a lot of height, so perhaps not the best example. This is easier shown when we're, flying the same height. We're pushing down and to the right to get our car in the turn left, and then we're finishing or we're completing that spin when we feel good about it. That's the idea. But you'll notice your car is going to spin from here to here. Now it's in the turn left position. When we push down and right, you spin from here. Now it's in the turn left. Now it's in the turn left. So you have to be patient and wait till your car gets there and make sure you're boosting there if you want to go left. Equal opposite, if my car is upside down and I use the turn left adjustment, we're moving to the right. So this is why we're looking at one, which way our hood is facing, then making sure we're boosting when we want to go that way. And finally, if you want a little bit of extra turn, more so than tornado spins, use the framework we just outlined, which is down right to turn left. And if you watch the air roll right segment, up right to turn right. And eventually, we want to be at the point where we can turn at any direction from this neutral flying position, just using these partial spins. And you'll see I'm quite controlled. If I want to jet right and I want to jet left, and I get a nice speed control while I do it because I'm using upright and down right with air roll left. That gives me that sort of that resemblance of a tornado spin. Very useful for slowing down our speed, turning like this, which is often what we're doing in rings. But remember, we're starting the adjustment when our hood is facing forward, not because this is the only way, but eventually you'll be full spinning, you'll turn whenever you want to turn, and you'll be quick with it, and you'll be able to use more than just down right and upright. But still, those will be the foundation. The main reason we're waiting until our hood is facing is because then we know when we're continuous spinning, we start here to turn right, we start here to turn left, we start here to turn right, and you see when I'm saying here, I'm just waiting till my hood is facing me. And that's giving us that movement we outlined. So I hope this was helpful. If you are confident with your tornado spins, you're confident with turning right, and you're confident with turning left, all continuous spinning on full speed, you're going to head over to the reverse tornado spin section. That's going to be hosted by Shock. He'll be your final teacher for air roll left. Good luck. Thanks for watching.